Good morning, CG. I'm Carissa.
And I'm Janiyah.
And we have your CGTV broadcast for Friday, November 17th. Today marks 45 years exactly since the Burger Chef murders took place only miles away from Center Grove High School. This notorious unsolved crime resulted in the deaths of teenagers Jane Fright, Daniel Davis, Mark Flemons, and Ruth Shelton. Logan Meyer has looked into some details of this unsolved tragedy.
45 years ago today, 4 teenagers were kidnapped from this Burger Chef building behind me. Now it stands dilapidated and deserted, but the memory lives on. On the night of November 17th, as 4 employees, Jane Fright, Ruth Ellen Shelton, Daniel Davis, and Mark Flemons were closing, one of them opened this door to take the trash out. From there, 2 men came and took all 4 of them, along with $581 in cash. These cases, known as the Burger Chef murders, have still haunted this Indianapolis community to this day. In a secluded wooded area just off of Stone's Crossing, the 4 bodies of the teenagers were found. Fright had been stabbed to death, Flemons had been bludgeoned to death, while Shelton and Davis had been shot. This was a good 20 miles away from where they had been stolen, and they were still in their Burger Chef uniforms.
Mr. Clodfelter describes his connection to these cases.
So I was just 8 years old and lived 50 miles west of Speedway. I didn't live in the Center Grove area, but my brother, who used to teach here at Center Grove, did teach here. And so with my brother working here at Center Grove, with it being a big news story to begin with, I had a connection, I guess, to the story from a young age of even 8 when it all happened.
Living only a quarter mile away from the area of the murders, Christian Anderson and his family were asked about the night.
Police, I know, came to the house at some point and talked to my parents. I was not privy to those conversations. I'm sure they asked, did you see anything? Were you up? Did you hear anything? But we were up and awake at the projected time when the murders would have happened.
Though the only true subject, Daniel Ray Forrester, was never convicted, Clodfelter and Anderson have theories about the outcome of this case.
Well, I think there was some connection to those 4 people. I think that's commonly believed, that there was some connection to at least one of the 4 people that were killed.
I think we probably have a good idea of who was involved, or at least the police do. I think they know. I really do. I just don't think they can prove it, and they're not going to release that information.
The discovery of these bodies marred the community and left shockwaves rippling throughout Center Grove.
I think there was a loss of innocence, if you will, out here for White River Township, for Johnson County, for rural Center Grove area, that crime even follows us, and even not just crime. I mean, there's always been petty theft and all that stuff, and shoplifting and all that. But I mean, as far as true, as bad as it can be, crime, murder can follow you all the way to out in the country in some fashion.
So throughout the years, I've always kind of paid attention on anniversary days, whenever news, new events, new information would come out. I would always kind of pay attention to it because I'd always have that connection.
While there is no certain closure on this case, the impacts of their murders are still felt throughout the community today. This has been Logan Meyer on the Burger Chef murders.
Thanks, Logan.
Here at CG, we display many different kinds of art, including painting, photography, ceramics, music, and more. One student, Kaylee Windiger, expresses herself through a different art form, crochet. Elena Wiesner brings you the story.
Crocheting is an art form where yarn is hooked together to create stitches. Sophomore Kaylee Whitaker shares more on the subject.
My entire small group knew how to crochet. We had like a day where we all met at a friend's house and they taught me how so we could crochet on the bus ride. It's a nice break from like the school atmosphere, from the show choir atmosphere. It's just a nice little break from everything, and I enjoy focusing my mind on something. I love crocheting things for my family. Don't start with the harder projects first. Start with simpler things and easier stitches, and then work your way up. Also, do it with people that you know that they know how. There's also a crochet club that meets Tuesdays in Star, or AIM, and there's a lot of people involved. You don't have to be experienced, you don't have to know what you're doing. You can come to learn, or you can come to share your knowledge with others. It's going to be a really fun environment.
Thanks, Elena.
With Thanksgiving break just around the corner, Eric Camargo asked some CG staff and students what Thanksgiving foods they're looking forward to the most on Thursday.
What up, Trojans? I'm Eric Camargo, and today I'm going to be asking people what their favorite Thanksgiving food is. What's your name?
Sean Breedlove.
Zoe Hennessy.
Jade.
William McCray.
Eric McAtee.
Nisha. Anea. Elazareth. Alana.
Mr. Spears.
Jeremy Stanley.
Lee. Shannon.
Michael Linville.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Definitely Hawaiian sweet rolls.
Dumplings.
Probably chicken and mashed potatoes. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd have to say turkey.
Potatoes.
Ham. Deviled eggs. I like mac and cheese. It's probably macaroni and cheese.
All right, this is what it is, okay? Warm apple pie, all right, with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Got to throw that on. Perfect.
Mac and cheese.
Obviously turkey. Definitely dumplings.
Pumpkin pie.
Nice, thank you. Those are some great Thanksgiving foods. Everyone have a good Thanksgiving break as well. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Eric.
On Thursday, marching band concluded their season at the Band of American Grand Nationals. While the drum kit is a common part of indoor percussion, it is not a common part of a marching band show. Molly Dew brings you the story on how this new addition impacted their performance.
Many people may have not noticed the new addition to the CG marching band. Seen in the front ensemble, Jana Weiland plays drum set. A drum set hasn't been seen in the marching band for decades. Mr. Torres and Jana give us information about drum sets and marching band.
So we kind of had an idea that we wanted to do a little bit more of a pop rock based marching band show. So that was a big part of the reason that getting Jana on drum set was a big deal. So I kind of talked to her at some point late in the spring about like, hey, is this something you'd be interested for marching band?
When I switched to drum set and like the front ensemble, it was just like a much more chill dynamic, and it just felt a lot easier to play with the group.
Torres shares the changes of having a drum set in the marching band and an indoor.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest changes adding a drum set in the marching band is just always having a stable center of pulse. I think another thing that changes is that for me as like the arranger, because I write the music, is that I know that I can pull the battery out, but that the energy isn't going to dip, that there's always going to be that energy. So that's huge, because then the battery, that gives them more opportunities like in indoor to do body and things like that, not just to slow pretty music, but also to like fast energetic music.
Indoor percussion is an activity with marching percussion. It takes place in a gym. It's very similar to marching band, except the winds are taken out of the occasion. Everything is scaled down and it is put on a tarp.
As the marching band season officially had come to an end, the percussion students start preparing for indoor. Jana talks about her experience in indoor percussion and how the marching band season builds up to indoor.
And I just feel like indoor is like, it really is just like putting all that effort that I spent in marching band and putting it towards something that I like really care about and I'm really passionate about. And like WGF finals and stuff, it's just like, it's just the best feeling to just like be good.
Thanks, Molly.
Tonight, our Trojan football team takes on number 1 ranked Ben Davis on the semi-state game. Ben Branco brings you a preview of tonight's game.
Last week, the Trojans defeated Warren Central 14-0 in a game where defense was key. Linebacker Owen Bright expects more of the same against Ben Davis.
To be able to hold them to probably their season low in points and definitely help out our offense, get them a couple extra possessions, and I think defense will probably win this game.
Tonight's matchup will likely come down to Center Grove's ability to limit two-way player Mark Zachary's impact on the game.
They have a really good two-way guy that makes a lot of explosive plays, so we're going to try and just eliminate the explosive plays and shut down their run game, make them play from behind, hopefully, if the offense produces, and make them pass the ball, and we'll be able to shut that down. So.
They're a complete team. I think they have a lot of weapons on both sides of the ball. I think we can combat it just by playing as a team. We have a good game plan for offensively, just spreading out their playmakers and equalizing each one of them. And defense, I'm sure, is the same thing. I don't play defense, but I'm sure they'll have a good game plan going in.
Ben Davis and Center Grove ranked number 1 and 2 in the state, respectively. On paper, this puts the Trojans at a disadvantage, but senior wide receiver Noah Coy and senior defensive lineman Nate Johnson see it otherwise.
I would say, obviously rankings don't matter as much. We've been in big games. They've played big games as well. So it's just a matter of who's going to make the plays when the night comes down. We've dominated them in recent matchups in the playoffs for the last 6 years. So I think that's also something in the back of their head that, we've been able to beat them, and something that we can go in with confidence too. So.
No, me personally, it doesn't affect me at all. I don't even look at the rankings or anything. I just go out there and play the game I love. And I hope it don't affect anyone on the team. However, we talk to them a whole bunch about rankings or anything. We just worry about actually playing football.
Center Grove takes on Ben Davis tonight at 7 p.m. Come out and support your Trojans.
Thanks, Ben. Tickets are available online at the Center Grove Athletics website. And for more in-depth story on the managers of the team, go to cgtrojaneer.com.
That's all we have for you today, CG.
Bye.